Mountain athletes, good morning. I'm Anthony LaRubio, the founder and head coach here at Recal Training. High five for showing up early on a Monday morning and starting your week off right. I'm excited to share with you this breathwork training session, as well as all the others in the series this month. Each week, we'll be tackling a different letter in our BASE acronym, which is the foundation for our programs here at Recal Training. BASE, B, better breathing mechanics. A, altitude adaptation protocols. S, strengthen respiratory muscles. And E, elevate your performance. The BASE principle is what we've used to help hundreds of athletes climb some of the highest mountains in the world and finish some of the most grueling ultra marathons. Given this is the first of the month, it's technically going to be our most accessible, I don't want to say easy version, but accessible format of our training sessions. And we'll focus on building those better breathing mechanics today. So hopefully we'll make some of this stuff muscle memory for you. So get yourself ready to breathe with me for the next 25-ish minutes. We're going to begin today's session from a seated position. So that's typically how we always start. So if you're new here, this might be new to you. If you're not, well, you're used to this. You're probably already seated. On your way there, though, we might incorporate, you may incorporate a few things in today's session. If you've got a resistance band or something to go around your lower rib cage area, or even just a standard belt that you would put on your pants, something that can wrap around your rib cage, that could be really helpful. We're going to maybe incorporate some of that in our diaphragmatic breathing today. But that's pretty much it. Just a chair, your breathing, and yourself, and your focus and attention. So hopefully you are there in that seated position. We're going to begin, as we always do, with a little nose unblocking exercise. So follow along with me, especially if this is the first time doing this. Go ahead and take a normal breath in through your nose and a normal breath out. And at the bottom of that exhale, pinch your nose and hold your breath, and just simply rock your head back and forth, up and down. You're holding your breath. This might be weird to hold your breath after an exhale. We're here for just 3 more seconds. 2, 1. Release your nose. I want you to breathe in through your nose immediately after you release. This helps to clear out that nasal passageway. We're going to do that 2 to 3 more times. Over the course of doing this, you might feel like there's more moisture building inside your nasal cavity. You might feel like it's unblocking a bit if it was blocked up to this point. So again, go ahead and take a normal breath in, normal breath out, pinch and hold, and just simply rock your head back and forth. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Release. Breathe in. Breathe normally here. I'm going to sound like a broken record. If you've done this with me plenty of times, this helps bring in nasal nitric oxide, which helps with gas diffusion into the bloodstream. It also helps to dilate our blood vessels, open them up slightly more, helps with blood circulation. That's what nitric oxide does. And we develop that nasally. All right, again, breathe in, breathe out, pinch and hold, rock your head back and forth. We're going to make this hold a little bit stronger than the previous ones. Continue to hold for 3, 2, 1. Release, breathe in. Good. All right, we're going to do a little bit of a warm up, just some exaggerated breaths. What I would like you to do is breathe in deep through your nose, fill up your lungs as much as you can. Filling up, sniff in a bit more air and hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale that breath out. Just let it go, mouth or nose, whatever works. Get to the point that you squeeze every last bit of air out of your lungs. Squeeze it, really contract. 3, 2, 1. Breathe deeply in through the nose again. Fill up that belly, filling up. Three, two, one. Exhale, let it go. Curl slightly forward. Press the air out. Press it out. Count to 10 to yourself. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathe in. Nice. Shake it out. We're just going to do one more little warm up. Just a simple rub of the rib cage. We have these special muscles in between each rib bone and the rib cage. These are called your intercostal muscles. They help with our breathing, both inhale and exhale. Just rub those a bit. Maybe create some topical warmth here, right in that rib cage area. All right, good. Take a nice big stretch with your hands up to the sky. Take a big breath here, just like this. Maybe a yawn like I just did. Sorry. It is early for me too. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Shake out the arms. All right. Nice job. So that is our little warm up here this morning. We're going to move on now to a little breath assessment. Given that today's focus is on the B in base, that's better breathing mechanics. Mechanically, we need to find out where exactly we move when we breathe. What parts of the body, what areas, locations in the body are actually moving. This is a little self-assessment. We call this the location of movement. Credit goes to Breathing for Warriors and Dr. Belisa Vranic for this. It's very simple to do the location of movement. I invite you to take one hand, I'm going to turn this away. Put one hand up on your chest, one hand now on your lower belly, and go ahead and look down the front of your body and take a few normal breaths. And as you breathe, just take note of where you notice the movement happening. Do you feel the expansion in your chest? Do you feel an up and down vertical movement with your shoulders? Do you feel an expansion in the belly area? Can you even notice some expansion maybe to the sides? And I know we don't have eyes in the back of our skull, but maybe we notice a movement toward the back as well. 360-degree circumferential breathing. Go ahead and pause. Just take a note to yourself. The LOM is a nice little breath assessment we can do on our own to analyze where exactly biomechanically we're breathing. Breathwork coaches like myself typically divide the sections of movement into 3 parts. You have your zone 1, which is lower belly diaphragmatic area. Zone 2 is the middle of the chest. Zone 3 is an upper chest, even like clavicle area, right? It would be most ideal from a proper breathing mechanics standpoint to get movement happening in zone 1. So this is where we want to see most of our movement happening. Not a lot of shoulder movement at all, if possible, and especially not vertical. We want almost horizontal movement, 360 degrees around. So that's a little breath assessment for you, just to understand where exactly you're breathing. So now let's focus on today's session being about how do we breathe the most mechanically optimal breath. And the way that I look at that is another fancy acronym. This one, credit goes to Oxygen Advantage for, which is called nose, slow, and low. So the quote unquote perfect breath, especially at rest, is breathing through the nose, breathe slower than we normally think we should, and breathe low. Feel the movement into the lower part of the belly. So let's start with the nose concept. From a seated position, I want you to sit up nice and straight. Relax your shoulders to your side. Think of your spine as a nice straight line pointed up to the sky or the roof or the ceiling above you. We're going to drop in a little meditation focused on the air flowing in and out through our nose. That's part 1 of the nose, slow, and low concept. Take a normal breath in through your nose and a normal breath out. and just observe your breathing. Focus all of your attention on that opening of your nose and feel the air, any sensations happening right there in the opening of your nose. Feel the sensation of air as it comes in. Feel the sensation of air as the air goes back out. If you want to, and if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes so you can focus all of your attention right on this area. We're going to spend the next 30 seconds or so just focused on what it feels right there on the edge of your nose. Last 10 seconds. Again, we're not breathing at any different pace, just a normal pace here. Just focus on the air coming in and out. Good. You can go ahead and break your attention. We are going to move right into the slow part of nose slow and low. Focus still on the nose. However, I invite you to take your pointer finger, place it gently just beneath the opening of your nose this time, resting on your upper lip. Then relax your shoulder and your elbow down, but keep that finger right there. And take a few normal breaths in this position now. Maybe you can feel the air coming in and running across your finger on the way in, and then back out and across your finger on the way out. Stay here and breathe normally. And now, true to the slow element here, start to breathe more slowly than you normally would. Breathe even so slow that you can barely feel the air as it runs across your finger on the way in and then back out across your finger on the way out. Breathing so slow that you can barely feel that. You're still breathing. You're not holding your breath. There is still air flowing. You're just making it so slow you can barely feel it. And at some point, maybe already, you might start to feel this sensation of air hunger. That's the feeling like you need to take a much bigger breath. This is actually what we're trying to channel here with this particular exercise, which is called Breathe Light. If you can, stick with that pace of breathing for the next minute or so. As time goes on, this might become challenging. Stick with it. If your breathing becomes too erratic, like you can't control it any longer, maybe take just a couple of normal breaths, but then drop back into that slow breathing again. You've got only 30 more seconds. Ten seconds. Finish strong here. Stay focused for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and drop your hand away from your nose. Breathe normally, though. I know that probably feels really good. So that again is called Breathe Light. So we started with the nose. We focus on breathing through the nose. Then we focus on breathing slowly through that exercise called Breathe Light. Now we're going to focus on the low part of NSL, low. This is where if you've got that resistance band or just a belt of some kind, you can go ahead and grab that. I'm going to go ahead and grab mine right now. I'm going to use the Buteco belt, which is something sold through Oxygen Advantage, which is one of our partners. It's one of the places in which I did get a advanced instructor certification. This simply should go around the lowest part of your rib cage with just a part of it hanging off the bottom of it, and then the other part still on that lowest part of your rib cage. So whether you have this on or not is totally fine. If you do not have it, I invite you just to take your hands, cup them around your rib cage. So you've got a little bit of pressure here, and relax your shoulders. So you just feel slightly some of that weight of your hands against your rib cage. This is just so we can have some physical, tangible feedback that's happening with our breathing so that we can feel where the movement's happening. So again, we're focused on the low part of breathing here. So what I want you to do is take a few normal breaths in and out through your nose and notice this area moving, the lower rib cage moving with each and every breath. And ask yourself, where is that movement happening? Do I feel the expansion in my rib cage? Can you feel the expansion happening in your belly, in the front? Can you feel the expansion happening to the sides? And lastly, can you feel the expansion happening in this tricky, oftentimes missed area happening in the lower back? I have a client right now, shout out to Mary, who for the first time introduced me to the concept of kidney breathing, breathing into the kidneys. This certainly provides a nice visual cue for when breathing. Feel it in the lower back where your kidneys are. This is simply called diaphragmatic breathing. We're going to be here for the next minute or so, just trying to train that muscle memory using some of this tangible feedback that we're receiving from having a slight pressure around the lower rib cage belly area. So you breathe in, you feel the diaphragm pull the air low and expand in that lower rib cage area. There's nothing particularly more exciting than building breathing muscle memory. This is a riveting training session, I know. For those of you not familiar with what a diaphragm looks like, it's a muscle that sits just beneath the lungs, shaped a little bit like a dome. And when we inhale, it flattens out. That is the feeling of the expansion in the rib cage, feeling like we're creating volume so that the lungs can fill up with air. And then when we exhale, it curls back up, decreasing the volume of space in the lungs. Inhaling, flattening out, exhaling, curling back up. Let's take just one more breath here. Very nice. Great. I'll leave it up to you whether or not you want to leave this on for the remainder of the session today. We've got another 5 minutes or so. I'll go ahead and leave mine on because why not? We're going to do just a simple exercise that I call the breath wave. We're going to take 5 or so deep breaths, breathing like a wave. When I say that, I mean breathe in through the nose, breathe deeply in through the belly first. And then we'll continue the inhale into the chest area. And then exhale either through the mouth or the nose, whatever feels right to you, but it's just going to be like a sigh of relief. This is not necessarily the best way that you should be breathing all the time. We're taking big, deep breaths. We're kind of entering the mindfulness sort of end of today's session. So, taking a deep breath in through the nose, fill up the belly, then the chest. Exhale with a sigh. We've got 4 more. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. This is your last breath. Deeply inhale. Exhale, let it go. And now hold your breath after the exhale. We're going into a box breathing. Continue to hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale now for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Around the box again. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold. Now exhale and hold. Inhale. Hold your breath. Exhale. Hold. Last time. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And hold your breath. 2 and 1. Just allow your natural breathing to come back to you. Maybe stay here with your eyes closed, just observing your breath once again, feeling the air come in and out through your nose, feeling the sensations on the opening of your nose, the very edge of that airway. Now trace the breath, tracing the breath from the edge of that airway in and down into your lungs. Feel where the air goes there inside your lungs. Maybe you feel it toward the bottom of your lungs. And trace the air back out through your nose. Go ahead and break the concentration on that airflow. Hopefully, we've built some good muscle memory. Just to wrap up here, I hope that you enjoyed our demo and exercises around a proper breathing mechanics, meaning breathe through the nose, breathe slow, and breathe low. Again, this is the first of a 4-part series, which covers the base principle, which we coach here at Recal, starting with the B, which is better breathing mechanics. Then next week, we're going to jump into the adaptations for altitude simulation protocols, which will be a particularly more challenging, exciting, and dynamic session. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Once again, I'm Anthony LaRubio from here at Recal. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope that this helps you to breathe smarter and breathe stronger for all of your endeavors on the mountain. Take care, everybody. Bye.